early access to the new Pokemon set Pitch Black. Starting on July 4th, select Play Pokemon stores will be hosting Pitch Black pre-release events. Here are the 4 featured promos you will see. First is Miraidon, a basic Pokemon with 120 HP. Its first attack feels pretty lacking with 2 lightning energy, which does 90 damage to your opponent's Pokemon, but does 30 damage to itself. However, it does pair well with its ability, Photon Cord, which essentially says if this Pokemon is in the active spot and is knocked out, move up to 2 lightning energy to 1 benched Pokemon. This conveniently pairs with charging up a potential Vikavolt, which has been confirmed to be found in this kit. Vikavolt's second attack, Giga Railgun, does 260 damage, which essentially one-shots most of the competition. However, it has a catch. It must have 1 Voltaic energy, which is a special energy that does 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And without this special energy, Railgun does nothing. Next is Slowbro, a stage 1 130 HP Pokemon. For just 1 psychic energy, Slowbro threatens to do 210 damage as long as you have no cards in your hand. But with confirmed stadiums like Prism Tower, where you can discard 2 cards to draw 1, dumping your hand can be a lot easier. And if you're feeling confident early on, you can use Slowbro's pre-evolution Slowpoke's attack Unlimited Disposal, which discards as many cards as you like. But if Slowbro is getting hard to use, try using its second attack, Zen Headbutt, for 110 damage, which should just use 1 ignition energy. And if you're still getting stuck, this kit includes the Sibylle line, whose stage 1 has an ability, Call a Buddy, where if you have no cards in your hand, you can search for a supporter, which could pair well with Gladion's Decisive Battle, which says you may only play this card if you have no other cards in your hand. During this turn, attacks used by your Pokemon that don't have a Roblox deal 80 more damage to your opponent's Pokemon. Then we have Dhelmise, another basic Pokemon who has 140 HP. For just 1 Psychic, Dhelmise could be doing 170 damage. For base damage 30, Dhelmise can increase its attack if it has 4 or more Pokemon that have the Hide and Seek ability in the discard, where the attack can then do 140 more damage. Pokemon included in this kit with the Hide and Seek ability is a stage 1 Banette, who also boasts a strong attack. Even though for only 80 damage for 1 Psychic, you then can also assert your deck for a card. Then there is another stage 1, Sinistra, with the same Hide and Seek ability, whose attack could become super strong. For 1 colorless, if there are 6 or more Pokemon with a Hide and Seek ability in your discard, place 4 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. This deck would also pair really well with Supporter Quinn, which states, discard up to 2 Pokemon from your hand and draw 3 cards for each Pokemon you discarded in this way. So you can get rid of 2 Hide and Seek ability Pokemon and also gain 6 cards in your hand. Lastly is Bastiodon, a stage 2 Pokemon with 160 HP. Though a stage 2, its ability is worth a look. With Ancient Bulwark, prevent all damage done to your Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have 2 or less energy attached. So for attacking Pokemon, they would need at minimum 3 energies to attack. Unfortunately, getting him into play could prove to be slow, since he is a fossil Pokemon. That's where the new stadium, Fossil Quarry, comes into play. This lets you search your deck for 2 items with Antique in the name, and then put them directly onto your bench. However, with its stage 1, Shieldon, for 1 metal and 1 colorless, you can slow down your opponent even more for 50 damage using Smash, which also discards an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Also included is basic Skarmory, who could also help you out in the early game. For 1 metal energy, Steel Cutter, but when you discard up to 2 metal energy, does plus 40 damage for each card you discarded in this way. So you could be doing 80 damage in the early game, which would then pair well with Supporter Felipe, where you attach 2 metal energies from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. Are you going to a pre-release event, and which pre-release deck do you hope to get?